Welcome to episode 7 of On Your Road to Becoming a Data Analyst, even with zero tech skill. And in this particular episode, we will continue with what I started in episode 6, where I talked about the purpose of data analysis. Why do we do it? And I emphasize the fact that if you don't analyze your data, right, it's more or less like you are walking on the road blindfolded. What will be the end result? I'm very sure your answer is also what I'm thinking about. So here is the reason why we do data analysis, or what it helps us to do. I said in the previous episode, I said it helps us to answer questions. Now, to the second one, it helps us to solve problem. Businesses sometimes run into problem, and their savior at that particular point in time, oftentimes, is always a data analyst, right, or data analysis. Why? Because the problem they actually need to solve, right, they can look at their data, right, get information from that data, then make decision that will solve that problem. Now, let me give an example. A company can ask, right, let's say a logistic company, how can we reduce delivery delays? Because a lot of customers are now complaining that, oh, I was supposed to get my package, say 2 hours ago, it's arriving 3 hours late, and all of that. And these are things that can ruin your business if you don't attend to it. So what will this analysis help you to do? It can look into what? Delivery times. That means you have to be taking note of those time. Those are data. You have to be taking note of everything before now, so that when you run into trouble, you can come back to those data that you've taken record of and analyze them. Right? You can look at delivery times, routes, and driver schedules to spot where the problem is. So you discover that, oh, the drivers are always going through this particular route on so day, and oftentimes when they go through that particular route, there's always traffic, but there's another route. If they go through that route, is a bit distance, right? But the fact that there is no crowd there, so if you still go through that particular route, what happens? You get there faster. So that's a decision that you can also come up with. So number one, it helps you to answer question. Number two, it helps you to solve problem. Now let's look at number 3. I said, what data analysis helps us to do? Number 3, it helps us to make decision based on evidence. I said in episode 6, I said, if you are not analyzing your data, it's like you are walking on the road without opening your eyes. If you are not analyzing your data, you are making decisions based on guesses, based on assumption. So if you now analyze your data, you are so confident of the fact that whatever decision you are going to make is based on evidence. Because if you are taught to prove as to why should we do this, then you can bring it out and say, oh, based on the data that we have, or that we have generated for the past 5 years, we've seen that in the month of December, we have more sales, or we saw more teddy bears. So in the coming December, let's talk more teddy bears, because for the past 10 years, for the past 5 years that I've been in this particular business, once it's December and it's 15th of the month, we are out of stock of teddy bears. For the past 10 years, it has been occurring consistently. So what do we do? Oh, based on that, we usually stock say 100 pieces. This time around, let's stock 200. You can see that you are not guessing. You are saying that based on what the business has said. And what has the business said? The things that has happened in the past 10 to 5 years. So what happens? You are making decision based on evidence. And also number 4, it helps us to find opportunities. And I wrote here, I said sometimes the number reveal hidden chances for growth. The numbers, that is the data, it reveals hidden chances for growth. Let me explain that. Now you run a particular business. Let's say you are in Lagos, right? And you stay at, for example, Ikeja. Let's say Allen Avenue. You run a business at Allen Avenue, Ikeja. Now, you look at your data. Let's say you sell shawarma. You look at your data, and for the past 3 months, you discover that 40 to 50% of your sales has been coming from Ogba at Ikeja. So what happens? There's an opportunity there. So what can you do? You can decide to open another branch at Ogba. So now, those at Ogba will not be stressing themselves to come to Allen to come and purchase your shawarma. All they have to do is locate the nearest store that you've opened closer to them to purchase. So what happens? Definitely you're going to have more store at Ogba, because at some point, some people may not be able to come from Ogba to Allen to come and buy, but they are really interested. So what have you done? You've looked at your data spoke to you, and then you're able to make a particular decision from your data that revealed another growth for your business, which is what? Opening a new store somewhere else. So can you see the importance of doing data analysis? So even though what you sell is biscuit and sweet, you need data analysis. You have big store, you need data analysis. Medium store, you need data analysis. You are a student, you need to learn data analysis. Why? Because all of these people are looking for you to help them make these decisions. You are young, you need it. You are old, you need it. You are not so old, you are an adult, you need it. Because life is just generally, life revolves generally around data, and it helps us to make a lot of what? Decision. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.